Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to go talk about some pretty fun stuff over here when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 5 Pro has its own integral upgrades, such as the PSSR, upgraded ray tracing, better specs, and all of that. But there's one kind of really big thing that I always like to sometimes go back to when it comes to how the video games in the future are going to improve, how they're going to be a little bit nicer, better specs, better graphics, and all that in between. And we have a pretty cool showcase and also big comparison right now for, well, what the future of the PlayStation 5 Pro, PlayStation 6, and all, even the Xbox, we want to be honest with it. And I think it's some pretty cool stuff to get to showcase. So we have some cool gameplay to go and show, and as well a bit of a yap to go talk about too as well. And I hope you guys do not mind when it comes to me talking about this type of stuff, because I think we have some pretty fun and nifty things to go and discuss, if I do say so myself. So anyway, let's go and dive into the news. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitters and Twitch down below, and the second YouTube account if you guys want to follow that on up to enter in for a giveaway. You also have all the affiliate links down below too as well if you guys want to pick up your PS5 Pro. And let's go and dive on into the video itself. So as you guys know, the PlayStation 5 Pro, there's gonna be two separate kind of bigger topics. Number one is that obviously the internal graphics, such as the better GPU, CPU, all that stuff, makes the console run nicer. We actually now have a nice comparison between that on the prior generation and as well this current generation, with the mid-gen refresher. But one thing to kind of go and compound out on that is the idea and concept of how do we make video games go farther and better beyond just having better hardware or having some cool software such as the PSSR or ray tracing. And I always like to bring this on up because this is all in regards now for Unreal Engine and how Unreal Engine can be overall absolutely sick and dope. So first and foremost, we have a video over here too from Saiku, which I'm going to go and have that link down below, in regards to the Matrix Awakens. Now, I'm not sure how much of you guys remember this or not, but I'm going to go and start playing stuff in the background for you guys to kind of go and roughly see the idea of this as we kind of go and talk over the Unreal Engine. Because if you guys forgot about this, we made some videos on this a few years back when it came out, and I don't have to have too much of the audio on it too, just more so look at the visuals on it. Of course, actually maybe go make it'd be a little 4K so you guys can actually see what's going on. It might be a little bit more impressive now, right? Although I do want to go make sure my frame rate's all good too as well. If it's a little bit on the shoddier side in the backdrop, don't mind that. Just the recording of the core recording. Either way, the idea is I want you guys to listen in the background. But either way, this is the Matrix, which was a pretty cool tech demo. It was like a 45-minute long demo that showed what Unreal Engine can go and be for a video game. Now, once again, this going through like a YouTube stream and like all that stuff's a little bit different, but basically, the end of the day is this is phenomenal. It was like an entire inner working city. It was meant to have these crazy graphics. And 2 years ago, this was pretty much unheard of. And this is all in engine in the game itself from Unreal. And that's where we're getting a little bit more surprised, because right now this is actually running on the PS5 Pro, which even runs better frames, looks nicer, even without utilizing like the update patch, the PSSR, and all that stuff when it comes to the game itself. Looks, obviously you can kind of tell it's a video game, but it does look on the somewhat hyper-realistic side. And once again, it's through a YouTube video, it's not going to look as nice. It's not the big deal. Like the big picture over here is talking about Unreal Engine. Now, as you guys probably know, Unreal Engine is the engine that this is meant to showcase on, what it's going and doing, how it's like, appreciating everything, all that type of stuff. And in terms of a video game over here, this is what it is. And we can show a lot of different various bits and pieces of it as has the Matrix stuff going on, but overall, it's very nice and cool. And Epic is basically, obviously, Fortnite, and they've worked with really cool big updates to make games run better assets, things, utilizing AI like ray tracing and all that type of stuff. So we keep on getting brand new Unreal Engine updates. Once again, this is the Unreal Engine showcase over here. But the big thing is that they're making everything better. This is more of like a general yap for people who are curious and where the future of gaming is going to go. They make assets look better. They make the environments run better. They have like huge, massive backlogs where the Unreal Engine devs themselves will go and like make assets such as like buildings, cars, like whatever it might be for any company out there to go and utilize and make. It's kind of basically being like, if you guys are Sony, you guys are Xbox, you guys are these big EA, Capcoms, whatever. If you guys want to use our Unreal Engine, besides your own proprietary engine or whatever it might be, use our stuff. We'll hook you on up. We will make sure whatever game you has runs nice, looks good, and looks fantastic. And as you guys can probably see for some gameplay over here, it looks very good. But a big idea is that there's perpetual updates over time. Like we have like the 5.1 update, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, and they'll do things like terrain building. They'll do things like environmental building, urban building, like such as this, clothing, lighting effects, weapons, assets, whatever it might be, and they will always keep on expanding on Unreal Engine. And so far, it seems like right now with the better PS5 Pro upgrades, as this is also run the PS5 and also been tested on this, it makes the specs better. The overall specs themselves are nice. And of course, it makes everything run better. Better physics engines, better car explosions, better animations. Let's see, for this one, you can see these individual bullet holes and everything. And this is a crazy video itself, where I hope I don't get demonetized or whatever. But like, you can basically see everything going on. Look at the explosions in the background as it's still running at even better frames. This is one of the best frame tests to go and see for the PS5 as well, because the PS5 Pro runs this at a very consistent, solid 60 FPS, which once again highlights on how good the Unreal Engine can actually go and be. And a big thing too is, once again, this is an engine. So any company, any group at all who wants to utilize it can. And even if it's not PlayStation, because don't forget, PlayStation does sometimes use its own individualized gaming engine, which is why sometimes PlayStation games are similar. They do sometimes share that same gaming engine, which is really cool and nice to see. But anyway, this allows anyone to basically go and repurpose their stuff on the PSSR, PlayStation 5, ray tracing, and you have this all utilized at once. And the more optimized, the more well-defined it is the better for gaming as a whole, and also better for, say, the PlayStation 5 Pro, where once again, just off the specs alone, this is running way smoother and nicer, let alone utilizing all the cool AI and other random things that are tied on in, which I think, once again, is also very, very cool. So they have things such as, and I'm looking at the other monitor too as well. They're basically making brand new things, such as having brand new animators, such as the motion matching, which is like expendable next-gen frameworks for animation features too as well. So basically it makes things easier for cutscenes, makes things easier for actual animations of, say, for explosions, or like, say, combat abilities, special effects, things like Stellar Blade. But as well, they also have other various things and different types of tools that will basically let anyone go make this stuff. Look at a good example over here from Mass AI, and I'm sure you guys have seen how much AI has changed since then too, just from the integration of like ChatGPT. And this is like, once again, 2-3 years ago. So imagine how much better this is going to be over time, because this is highlighted from 2022, repurposed right now on a PS5 Pro, like rechecking that out. So you have all this like dynamic lighting, you have the day and night toggles, you have the cars, you have the systematic city, and everything else all tied together. And it basically is just showing the future that gaming itself as a whole is going to be completely nutty, because with this also tied into things like the PSSR, which without a doubt, if you guys don't know, PlayStation is a huge investment into Epic Games. Like, they own, I think, 15% of Fortnite at this point. So any other game also being made, say Xbox, is, you know, getting a little double dipping over there. But look at how beautiful this looks. This is all real-time graphic rendering with the this is like a game. This is not like a drone shot or like a pre-rendered sequence. This is an actual game. So utilize this with the PS5 Pro. Go throw things like the PSSR to take the load off for Unreal Engine. And as well, at the same time, you could have different types of audio, different types of buildings, different types of windows, whatever it might go and be, all ingrained on top of it. And I think this is actually like insanely cool, because this is what the future of gaming is like. And once again, this was made for 2022 PS5, let alone the PS6, or even utilizing AI in the PSSR. And this is actual game. Like, this is a sequence straight into the game itself. So you guys can now see all these people walking around, the environment, the clothing, the characters, everything out here. This is all actually already made in Unreal Engine, which you guys may remember this when this first came out. But let alone this, they have different types like nanite rendering over here too, which if you guys want more of an in-depth video, feel free to let me know. They have things like the temporal super resolution too as well for stability, performance enhancements. They have like the rendering things I just mentioned too as well, which will add rate sharding too, which basically allows them to go and like kind of have performance gains too by just basically having like individualized rendering, I believe is how it kind of explains. Like, you don't have to like render everything all at once, so it does like individualized rendering. And all this stuff put together is utilized for the PSSR. And the same thing too as well, pushing for the 60 hertz as well. They've even tried to go make sure the baseline for things like Unreal Engine for the PS5, PS5 Pro, Xbox can also have a chance to go hit that initial 60 hertz, because the 60 hertz is very important for a consistent 60 FPS gameplay. You guys have seen a lot of my PS5 Pro videos. I've mentioned that the 60 FPS is pretty much the goal, even at 4K, and that's what people kind of want to have and push for. Something under that, say for games like Dragon's Dogma or Elden Ring, are a little bit slacking, but they are very CPU-based games, which is understandable why it's rough. But as I want to go and re-highlight, this is where stuff gets cool. all these individual car textures, you have these random streets, you have these walls and all this, but you also have a chance then to combine this. So Unreal Engine's building like this huge massive base that anyone can kind of go and copy and paste and cut on into and put however they want. And then at the same time, you have PlayStation 5 Pro, which has the PSSR, which utilizes AI to make things render better and also make things run nicer. Things like the streets, the ground, the gravel, these buildings, all these individualized frames, and as well as other various things such as the ray tracing, lighting effects, and lighting like reflections as we see in this car's window, etc., etc., because at the end of the day, this is just cool. So Unreal is basically going and also incentivizing and pushing these next generations with AI, with their own actual developers. And at the same time, I still have found this game as one of the most dramatic and cool looking game experiences I've ever had a chance to go and see, and I really wish this was a proper real game. Makes me sad it was only like a 45-minute long demo, but as you guys can kind of go through all this type of stuff, you can see on how beautiful the future of gaming can be. This is also 2 years out on old hardware, although this is on the PS5 Pro, but imagine how much the future is going to be from everything all combined. And there's a lot more I could dive on into, so you guys want to have more of a Tom conversation, let me know. But I'm very, very happy and thankful to go and see what the future of the PS5 Pro will be and what's going to happen next. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have all the Twitters and Twitches and all the bonus giveaway entries down below, and subscribe for the PS5 Pro giveaway. We also have all the affiliate links down below too as well, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.